Welcome to another episode of the Brilliantly You Business Show. Today, we are going to be talking about why focusing solely on this six-figure milestone might actually be holding you back and dictating your feelings of success when actually there might be some other beautiful gems that you are missing. Now, obviously, in our online world, that six-figure mark, it's a big milestone, right? Everybody seems to want to hit this six figures. Now, why is that? It seems to be this kind of level of first line success, like you've sort of made it. Everybody suddenly starts saying, hey, I'm a six-figure earner. I've got a six-figure business. But if your business made 90,000 a year or 80,000 a year or 60,000 a year or even 50,000 a year, does that mean that you're not successful? And this is the problem. And this is what we're going to be talking about today, because I want to help to shine a little light on this constant, home beaming in on this specific milestone that actually it's leaving so many amazing entrepreneurs feeling less than, inadequate, like they're failing, like they're doing something wrong. And actually, you might just be not recognizing the success that you have already created. So inside of this episode, we're going to be talking a bit about kind of where this comes from, what different things you could actually be looking at to see, is this actually your goal right now? Are there other things that are actually more important than the monetary thing? We go through different seasons in life, and I'm going to give you some things that you can hopefully just take away and recognize that you are already successful, that you have achieved things that you can feel incredibly proud of, and hopefully just make you see that it's more than just money. Now, there's actually quite a really sad fact that I found when it comes to these financial milestones. Did you know that 80% of entrepreneurs feel dissatisfied despite actually achieving different financial milestones or other milestones as well? So if you have been chasing that six-figure dream and feeling unfulfilled and like you're missing out or you're not successful enough and you're not enough, just know that you are not alone. I mean, 80%, that's shocking, right? I mean, it's shocking, but not, I get it. I feel that way too. I felt that way for a long time. I'm not at that six-figure mark. But actually, when I stop and think about things, and what I'm going to be sharing today is actually I'm so grateful for other parts of my business and what I've created, that it takes away some of that feeling of like you're not enough. So what is it with this whole six-figure fixation? Where has it come from? Who made up this, this thing that six figures is actually that? It's this, all the marketing will just prey on this goal that everybody has been sort of trained and molded to think that this is what we all want. And yeah, like, I want to earn six figures, absolutely. But what does that represent? And maybe this could be something that you haven't even really thought that deeply about. Some people might have just sort of gone, yeah, that sounds like a good number. That means I'm making, just under 10 grand a month. That's great. That's going to make a lot of difference in my life. Other people just go, yeah, that just sounds like a good rounded up number. But what does actually six figures mean to you? How is that going to change your life? What are you going to do when you get there? Is it like the biggest priority for you to get to six figures? Or perhaps is there something else in there as well? Now, obviously, when we think about six figures, people just think 10 grand a month. Well, actually, it's not 10 grand a month. It's 8,333 pounds or dollars or whatever currency you have per month. So it's even like, it's not even 10 grand a month. It's less than that. And you are there. But one of the problems that I see with fixating on this goal so much, and I've definitely felt this too, is, each year, every January, right, or December, you might sit down and think, right, okay, what are my goals that I want for the next year? And if you're going, right, I want to hit the six-figure mark. Okay, well, how much are you busting your butt to get there? Have you even worked out how you're going to hit that six-figure mark? But often this kind of focusing on this monetary goal as like the core thing that you're going for, what it can lead to is it can lead to burnout, people hustling so much that they're just constantly work, they're overworking, trying to, hit that goal. It could be that you are missing out on really important time and quality time, personal stuff, whether it's time with your family, your kids, your health might potentially be, deprioritized. Are you focusing so much on your business and the money that you're not, exercising enough? You're not taking time to actually see your friends and your family and socialize. So is it taking a bit of a knock on your health, your relationships, your creativity? Are you creating space? Have you built a business? Even if you're at six figures, I have had friends that I've seen in tears because yes, they've got a successful business, in quote marks, where they're making great money. But a friend of mine was in tears and she was exhausted because she was constantly working. And I looked at her in that moment at this workshop I went to, and I just thought, fuck that. Like, yeah, money's great and I want more of it, but at what expense? And this is the thing that I want to just raise today. It's not to say that don't have goals. I still want to make six figures. That's absolutely my goal. Now, there's nothing wrong with having big goals. There is nothing wrong with that being important to you. Money is so important. And I think especially now, times are hard, more and more people are looking to have extra little side hustles on the side of jobs. You might be looking at extra revenue streams inside of your business. You might need to get a part-time job again, like whatever. We need money to make the world go round. So there is nothing wrong with having a six-figure target. That is not the point of this episode and my message to you today. The point is making sure that actually you really are taking time to build the business that you want, doing it in a sustainable way, and actually is it right now? And if this goal is leading to you constantly feeling crappy about yourself, or maybe you feeling like you're not good enough all the time, or you're constantly hitting these marks, then perhaps there needs to be a shift. Whether that might be, reducing your financial target for the year. If you're miles away, then stop saying I'm going to hit six figures this year and actually do it in increments, right? Say, right, depending on where you are, maybe you're making 50 grand. Okay, well, maybe go to 75 next year before getting to 100, or getting to 80. And then you can go up from there. So sometimes it's just a case of simplifying the goal, setting a bit more realistic expectations with still a stretch, so we can have that challenge. Or it's actually looking at how you're going to make that goal. And is there perhaps a simpler way and a different way? Or actually, are you more than happy at getting 80 grand this year and not hitting that six figures, but there's other more important things in there? So a really great example I want to share with you today, and I'm tempted to bring her on for an episode, but a good friend of mine, Melanie, and we were in the same mentoring company for several years. We then became mentors of that sort of student body, if you like, together. And we're good friends. And she's a prime example of this. And she actually talks about this in her marketing because she, like me, constantly were making these big goals. Now, she's a mum of 4 young boys, and she realized that actually she was spending so much time working that she was missing out on a lot of these moments with her little boys, and obviously, I'm not a mum yet, but this is one of my goals. Like, I want to have my business work around the lifestyle that I want. And when I do eventually have a little baby, I don't want to be working as much as I do now, but everything that I do in this pre-time is all built around creating the systems to support the business, to make sure that I have things that can work with or without me so that I can spend that time being a mum. And this was something that she realized. And so she was having to say, no, sorry, we can't go to the park, I'm working. She was spending so much of her time feeling guilty about either not working and then feeling guilty with, missing out on special time with her boys while they're still young, obviously that time is limited. And so what she did is she realized she kind of got rid of the six-figure goal as the core target. She realized that the season that she is in her life, being able to spend that quality time with her boys, playing, having a nap together, doing things together, she shifted things. And I've loved watching her journey because she's really come into her own, and she created her own sort of planning system, and she teaches this to her clients now. So if you are a mum with young kids and you need a better sort of structure in your day and your week, definitely go and check her out. Her name's Melanie Donahue, and I'll put her details below. But she created this different planning system that allowed for work time, for family time, for her time, taking care of herself. And actually, not only did she actually feel so much better, like she was spending more time with her boys, but her business grew as well. And so it's wonderful to watch her journey, as her friend, watching her Instagram and her journey unfold. And she did just that. She took away this pressure of six-figure things from mentors that didn't have young kids, whether it was men that their wives were the ones who were looking after the kiddies when they were young, or people that didn't have kids. And this was something I'm always mindful of. Obviously, I don't have children yet. I mean, my story is I've been a very long journey and painful journey. But as I mentioned, everything that I do, the reason why I'm so passionate about systems and automation and tech and tools and stuff is because my ultimate goal is to be a present mum. I want to have my business where I can be me and use my brain and my skills and everything. But I want the business and the money that I create to allow me to not have to work full time, so I can obviously be the mum that I want to be. That's my ultimate goal. The money obviously helps me do that by not having to be forced, to go and work in a job again, and all those things. So I just want you to kind of, that example is sometimes just shifting the view on success, how that can actually make a huge impact to you. So let's talk a little bit about success, right? So as we've talked about, money is a big part of how people feel like we are successful. And unfortunately, it's just the way of the world. But success is relative, and this is the point of this episode and why I wanted to talk about it today. It's been on my list of topics that I wanted to talk about for a while. And because, normally I talk about marketing and tech and stuff, automations and systems and stuff. I thought I want to talk for a couple of episodes about some of the realities of the other stuff, right? As being a business owner, what happens. So last episode, I talked a lot about mindset with self-doubt and self-sabotage. And this kind of talking about success can bring up a lot for people. If you're focusing a lot on money and not hitting those goals, it can leave you feeling like you're not good enough, like you're doing something wrong. Like, what are you missing, right? Why not me? But like I say, if you actually are looking at things through a different lens, you might notice some really beautiful things that you have created inside of your business and your life that actually you can define as success. Because if you look up success in the dictionary, it's not going to say having a six-figure business or six-figure income or whatever, or having this kind of business or everything looking a specific way. Success is down to you. You and your family, your life, down to you. Even you, like me and my husband, will probably have very different views on what success is. So it's got to be personal to you. So I encourage you to look and think about this. Take a bit of time, journal on it if you need to. For you, right now in this period and this season of life, what's really important for you? If you haven't got kids. So for me, I don't have kids. So I am very focused on getting my offers really honed in, getting them selling consistently, getting the results with my clients, getting the systems all tested how I want, working well, just really sort of keep refining and finding where I really fit. I've done a lot of pivoting over the years. And so building everything in a really streamlined way that is going to be able to be this automated selling machine with the right offer that suits the delivery style that I want to do. That's my real focus at the moment. And to be hitting a revenue level that takes the pressure off, right? Now, once I obviously have a baby, my things are going to look differently. I'm going to then rely on obviously all the work that I've done for the last 9 years to support me, but my goal is going to be figuring out what the hell to do with this little with the baby. I've just had 2 good friends just give birth literally in the last couple of weeks, and so now they're in this oh my god, what are we doing phase. I've got another friend who's pregnant, and so it's a different phase of life. I will want to make sure that I can take maternity leave. The whole purpose of me quitting my job was so that I didn't have to, fight for part-time hours when I went back to work after the 9 months or the year that you have off. And so I want to make sure that I can have a decent chunk of time like I would in a job and still have money coming in and doing stuff that I love, right? So it's looking at what's important to you. Or you might be a bit older, or maybe you've chosen not to have children, or you might have your kids are grown up. Again, I've got friends who've got teenagers now. And so they're in a different phase of life where they've got a bit more kind of freedom. They're not sort of chained to all the constant little, the kids clubs and birthday parties and stuff. Their kids are a bit older now that they're not obviously so reliant on them. And so again, that's a different phase of life. You've then got when they're older and perhaps they're moved out and you're baby boomers, empty nesters kind of thing. So each stage of life is going to have its different levels of intention, levels of fulfillment that you want, levels of focus, and that comes with different views and lenses of success. So really kind of take a moment to think about that and say, if the 6-figure goal is that, then great, go for it. I'm cheering you on the side, going, yes, egging you on, going, go for it, do it. And say, this isn't a bash or saying that having a 6-figure goal is bad, not at all. But it's just to help other people. And even if you're at 6 figures, it's just helping to say, hey, just take a moment and actually look at, is everything that you've got and everything that how you're running your business, is it actually a fit? Is it a sustainable fit? Is it actually the focus with what you want right now? Because again, lots of people may well have built this business that is making them lots of money, but they're constantly working, they're burnt out, and they're like, oh my God, I can't take a holiday. My team needs me. I've got to keep showing up and doing all this stuff. So actually, is it that, yes, you've got a load of money, but perhaps you don't feel successful because you have no time? So it's then looking at, okay, well, what shifts can I make? What shifts can I make? Because the importance isn't necessarily just the money. Yes, money can be important, but actually if it's that you want to travel more, or you want more space, or you want to spend the time with your children or your parents if they're getting older or whatever, then it's looking at, okay, well, how can you tip the balance a bit more? How can you make some shifts and tweaks inside of your business that's actually going to help that particular success level? So obviously, say we've got money, we've got time, is it that you are wanting to pivot and you're wanting to do something else or something different in your business? Some people might want to help charities and non-profits and stuff because they're really passionate about it. They might want to give back to communities with the money that they make. There's going to be so many different things that you can class as successful. And so really think about that. And I'd love actually for you to share with me what's really important for you in this season of life that you can class as successful. Is it that you're wanting to be able to really make the impact on people? You'd really love to have glowing reviews of your courses, your programs with things. Would success being, being invited to speak on podcasts or to events that you can speak on stage? Is it actually that you would just love to be able to wake up naturally every single day? Hint, hint. That was mine. Honestly, like people, my friends, and actually I had a dream about my old work colleagues last night, and I woke up thinking, God, that was strange. But one of my departments that I worked for a company for 9 years, and I worked in three different departments, and kind of the middle one, it was IT, and that's kind of how I embraced a bit more of my inner geek. It was all about project governance. It was boring as hell, but the people in that department were absolutely amazing. Some of them became some of my best friends. We had such fun. And, I stayed in that department for 4 years, even though I knew that the job wasn't really me. But anyway, I when I actually had decided to I was building my business alongside that job. And so my friends were obviously watching me, posting things on social media. And suddenly this whole new online world had unraveled in front of my eyes. And so I was like this passionate, eager beaver, constantly talking about, oh my God, the possibilities of what I can do and la 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 la. And my goal was, I want to be able to quit my job. I want to be able to wake up naturally. I'm not an early bird at all. Getting up and having that alarm clock go off at I think I had about 5 alarms. And a friend of mine, she was like, God, you and that bloody goal of the alarm clock. But oh my God, how amazing is it when you don't have to have an alarm clock and you wake up naturally every day, whether it's 7 o'clock. I tend to wake up at 7, but other times they might be waking up at 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And who cares, right? Like, I get my work done, but that's the beauty of it. For me, I felt so rich just being able to do that. My mum lives a few miles away, and my auntie, my dad's sister, my dad passed away when I was young, but my dad's sister lives in Germany, and she's been coming over to visit my other auntie who's in a residential home now. She's got dementia. And, it'll be lovely because my auntie Ali will come and visit my mum and me, and we'll have lunch on a Monday. I haven't got to take the day off, haven't got to ask permission. I just go. And so much of that lifestyle, that flexibility makes me feel so grateful. And I'm not going to say lucky because I worked goddamn hard for it. I busted my ass for 3 years before quitting my job. So it's not luck. And I'm not earning the money that I would really like to be right now. But I love the fact that actually being able to do that, being able to just go and see my friends, my friends who work part-time, when we can, try and all get together, go and see each other on a Wednesday, And again, I haven't got to take a day off. I haven't got to miss out on these lovely times, So for me personally, that flexibility in life and in my week, in my schedule, makes me feel really rich. And that's something that I personally will look at. Other thing is, being able to exercise now, being able to exercise in the mornings rather than having to wait until at the end of the day when you feel tired and you don't feel like it. So actually being able to prioritize health, working out is important to me, and being able to do that. So, those are kind of some of my things. And I still, I love money. I want money. That goal is still there. But actually, when you do, one of those goals can make you feel a bit shit, can make you feel like something's not going well or that you're not enough. The other way, when you actually look at the reality of actually what have you got, what things have you got in life, can you suddenly feel rich? Actually just the feeling of talking about those things just now, I was smiling inside. I was probably smiling out loud, but, really made my heart really grateful and full. When I work with clients, whether it's my subconscious therapy work or whether it's helping somebody with some cool tool on automation, whether it's helping somebody with their marketing strategy, and seeing the ahas and the light bulbs go off with people is so rewarding, So there's so many different ways for you to look at what success looks like. And so it's really about remembering to, take that step back, put a different lens on, and actually look at your life and look at your business through different lenses to actually appreciate how far you've come, what you have created, and if there is a misalignment, if there is a mismatch of something, if you are working all the time and actually you think, actually no, I want more flexibility, then now it brings the awareness so you can do something about it. You can make a shift, you can change your strategy, you can change maybe how you're marketing, you can change the delivery of your programs and your services if that is causing you to be working so much. Obviously it depends on what you're doing, and this is stuff that I work with my clients in my strategy sessions, is actually helping people to see, where are things getting bogged down? Where are things taking up your time? Where's your brain space and your energy going? And actually, are there things that can be automated? Is there a simpler way that you can do things? Is there a way that you can create a more streamlined process? There's so many different elements to it. And that, for me, I love doing that with people, because I've literally been doing this for my business, for myself, for years, because of my big goal of what I want. And so it's just a case of really looking at things, recognizing like what's working and what you want to keep, but actually, where are things dragging you down? Are there areas that you're spending so much time doing, like small little menial tasks, that you think, for God's sake, I hate doing this stuff? Well, you could probably automate it, right? And actually, I've got a great freebie I'm going to give to you in this episode in the show notes. I put together a list of over 100 small but mighty automations. I'm constantly adding to it as I'm learning new things. I've just uncovered like a whole new world of automations that I'm really excited about, and I'm testing a lot of stuff. So in the next couple of episodes, I'm going to be diving more into some more advanced automations and things that I'm learning about that you can automate more. So like, I'm excited and I'm testing things out. So I have to kind of play with things and test things first before I then start obviously teaching it and talking about it. But, automation and having systems really is the key to creating that space that you may want. So if that's the case, even just generally, you need to get these manual tasks off your plate. Obviously certain things have to be done manually, but there is so much that you can automate, or it might be outsourcing it to somebody else. So there's different areas of things that you can do. So just kind of, this is what I love helping people with, is looking at what's the main areas of things that you'd really like to work on. And then we come up with a whole plan and we map it all out together and do all that for you. So if you're interested in that, then definitely check the show notes for information about that. And then we can obviously have a chat and we can go from there and see how we can help you. So in a nutshell, it is all about recognizing and taking stock of what does success mean to you? What small victories can you keep front and center to remind yourself of how brilliant you are? This show is called the Brilliant New Business Show for a reason, because I want to keep every person who watches or listens to this, I want everybody to be reminded that you are brilliant exactly as you are. Just to fill in, there might be some tweaks to make, but you are amazing. You started your business for a reason, because you have skills, because you have the willingness and desire to help people, because you want to do things your way and not be dictated to by somebody else. And so this is all about kind of talking about those different aspects that come with that, the things that knock us down when we doubt how brilliant we are. Different, obviously tactics and strategies and ways that we can make our business more brilliant so we can shine without being bogged down. So really look at, what is your definition of success other than just financial goals? Like I say, obviously the financial piece can still be there, but what other things are there? Is it personal growth? I mean, that's the great thing about business, right? The personal growth is massive. And that's probably one of the biggest things I'm most grateful for, is how much my mind has opened, the possibilities and opportunities I've had, the just learning again, loving learning again, right? Reading books again is huge. Is it the relationships that you have or you want to grow and develop? Your personal well-being, your self-care, all of this, to help keep you motivated and fulfilled, right? Making you smile every day, waking up and being excited about what you're building and what you're creating. And remember that people who celebrate those small victories are more likely to stay motivated and achieve those long-term goals. So keep, checking in with yourself, whether it's every day or at the end of the week. Write down, what are some things that worked for you? The 3-2-1 is what my mentor taught me. 3 things that worked, 2 things that didn't work, 1 thing you'll do differently. It's a great, really simple little self-evaluation. In my planners that I create and everything, I have that. What's working, what didn't, what am I going to do differently? And celebrate every little thing. I celebrate every ding with an email, whether it's a new lead or if it's a sale of one of my products, or if it's a comment on a YouTube video, or if it's a share of a blog post. All these things can be little celebratory victories that we can remember. We're creating all this content, we are doing our services, we are working with clients, all the stuff that we are so busy and we're passionate doing it for a reason. And what is that end goal? So remember that while those financial milestones are important, obviously your business needs to make money to be able to pay yourself and, for it to grow. It's not the only thing to look at. It's not the only thing that defines success. Remember, you define success. So what does that look like for you right now? And it might change, and that's absolutely fine. It's going to change, right, as we go through life. So this is why it's important to just kind of take stock, really look at, are you doing things in a way that's right and suited to you right now? And remember to celebrate all your wins, big and small. So I would love to hear from you with what your personal definitions of success are. What's your kind of big intention and season, if you like, right now? What's the piece that would make that successful? So do come and share with me either in the comments section on this episode, wherever you are coming across this, or you can come and reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is @JennyStevensCoaching. I'll put the links of how you can come and connect with me, and also give you that free resource, the 100 Small But Mighty Automations. You can go and download that as well. And I'll also put details of how we can work together if you are looking for different ways that you can systemize your business a bit more, free up some of your time, free up some of your headspace, add more automation and flexibility really into your business. So we can obviously talk about that as well. So all the details will be in the show notes, which you can find below this episode. Like I say, and if you've got any questions, you want to share anything with me, I'm always happy to hear from you. So do reach out to me. And let me know what you got from this episode. And obviously, if you think anybody else would find this useful, do share the love, and don't forget to leave a review, leave a comment. Make sure that you are following and subscribing for future episodes. And so thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you are subscribed and you are following along so you get notified when new episodes drop. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Brilliant You Business Show. Take care. Bye.